I'm Mike Fouché, and this is Aldertrack's Meet a Chicago Candidate series. Amy Crawford is from Uptown. She's running against incumbent 46th Ward Alderman and incumbent James Kappelman. She's a partner and attorney at the powerhouse firm Kirkland & Ellis and has reported raising $74,000, but still less than what her opponent has reported raising. There's a third candidate, too, the former chief of staff to the ward's former longtime alderman, Helen Schiller. Tell me, Amy, what drove you to run for alderman?
Well, I've had a great time practicing law at Kirkland, litigation partner there, and I've gotten a chance to work on a lot of interesting matters. But, like a lot of lawyers, practicing law is not the only thing I've ever wanted to do with my life, and have strong leanings towards civic engagement. Been doing a lot locally in the ward for years, and decided that it's time for me to get involved. In a more hands-on way, a more full-time way. I also became a parent in the last year. My partner and I adopted a baby boy a year ago last January, so decided that it was time to try to really emulate the values that we want to see him have and help to mold the community to be more of what we'd like it to be for him.
Okay. So do you consider yourself an Emmanuel, Garcia, Wilson, or Fioretti supporter?
Well, my race is really about the 46th Ward Alderman. So, what I've said in the past is I think Mayor Emanuel was dealt a tough hand and that he's dealt with a lot of problems straightforwardly. I think he's probably could have made some more friends along the way. He's alienated some folks here and there, certainly. So people certainly take some issue with his style. But, to me, this race isn't about the mayoral race.
So most sitting aldermen would say the job is more like being a janitor to the ward than anything else. But if you had one major citywide policy issue, what would it be?
Well, I think citywide schools is the biggest issue. I mean, certainly education is the great equalizer in society, and we've seen some progress with our schools, but obviously need to do much more. So schools are something that I would be very focused on a citywide basis. And again, being a parent, that just comes naturally.
So what exactly is Alderman Kappelman doing wrong that you feel that he needs to be replaced?
Well, I think when Alderman Schiller retired in 2011, it was an opportunity to try to bring different factions of the community together to try to get things done on the issues of crime and economic development. But those were missed opportunities over the past 4 years. So we've seen the murder rate in Uptown go up 400%. It's the 19th Police District has lost 25% of its police since 2011. We have 50% increase in murders over last year alone, and that's unacceptable. So since that was an issue that Alderman Kappelman ran on and promised to do better on, it's been a disappointment for ward residents that he hasn't, he's lost ground on that issue.
But the ward has been really fractious ever since the last election and maybe the one before. What are you going to do in order to make things less fractious?
Well, I'm the kind of person, pragmatic leader that can bring people together. So, to me, I don't fall sort of squarely on the side of one faction or another. I haven't gotten bogged down in some of those divisive arguments of the past. Affordable housing has been a wedge issue in the ward. To me, it's about preserving but also improving the affordable housing in the ward. So I think a balanced, pragmatic leader can really bring the ward forward. Preserving diversity, but also making sure that problem housing units continue to be or are addressed in a forceful way to make sure that they're not giving rise to crime.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us today, Amy.
Thanks so much.
You can learn more about the Amy Crawford campaign and over 200 others by subscribing to Aldertrack's email newsletter at aldertrack.com, by subscribing to our YouTube series, and by listening to this series on Rivet Radio. Thank you very much. More great stuff to come.